Okay, several years ago when we lived in Charlestown, I had been witnessing to my neighbor who lived directly across the street from me, and she had muscular dystrophy that had begun in her body. She told me, she said, one day the heart is a large just a muscle, and eventually it'll just atrophy and I'll die. So she was having trouble walking around, but I kept talking to her about healing, made sure that she was born again, and she had come from some little community in Kentucky, and hadn't really found a church, but I said, that's important. I know that's very important, but I want us to talk to you about your soul and your body. And so I don't know how many days I'd just pop in there and talk to her just across the street. Mm-hmm. So one day I was telling her about the power of God, that it's just a very real thing that we can take advantage of. So one night Tom and Chuck were gone to Columbus, Ohio, where they used to go once a month together. And I said, I had the children, Joanna was the baby, had the other two girls, and it was on a Saturday evening, and we were just getting ready to sit down and eat when the sky turned really black and just clouds rolling, and in a little bit, the rain started coming and the wind was blowing and thunder and lightning, and our electricity went out just as we were getting ready to eat. And so we were getting ready to pray, and one of the girls said, "Mom, let's just pray for the lights to come back on." I said, "Yeah, let's pray that." So we held hands and prayed, asked the Lord to turn our lights back on, and within a few moments our lights came on, which was fine. I mean, that's what we prayed for. A little bit, my phone rang, and it was Mrs. Johns across the street, and she said, "Miss Cox," she said, "do you have lights in your house, electricity?" I said, yeah, and she said, "Well, it's a funny thing." She said, "Nobody else in the neighborhood does, and even the street lights are out." And I was reminded of the story and the plagues when when it got so dark, but yet the Israelites had light.
Yes.
And I said, that's just the power of God.
That's awesome.